What's up everybody? This is Country Geckos, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you something you really need to try if you own a bearded dragon. As all of us already know, bearded dragons make fantastic pets, and despite the expensive overhead cost of purchasing their terrarium and feeding them, they make really excellent pets. And now that I've had Ralph here for several years, I've learned a couple of tips and tricks that I'm going to show you today. One in particular that I think is really going to make it easy for you guys to care for your bearded dragon. So in the reptile industry, a very popular type of substrate that people use is ReptiCarpet. ReptiCarpet is used by lots of different reptile owners for leopard geckos, even crested geckos, African fat-tailed geckos, and without a doubt, bearded dragons. Basically what it is it's just a type of fabric that's easy to clean and very safe, non-toxic, and very little chance of impaction for your animals. ReptiCarpet really does make an excellent substrate if you're not concerned about the look of your terrarium, because as you can tell, it's not all that visually appealing, but it's going to get the job done. Specifically pertaining to bearded dragons, there's a lot of drawbacks that negate the benefits of these ReptiCarpets, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did to counteract all these drawbacks with ReptiCarpet and show you a better alternative for substrate, in my opinion, for bearded dragons. So my primary issue with ReptiCarpet when being used for bearded dragons is the fact that it's sort of difficult to clean. Those of you that have bearded dragons know that when they do go to the bathroom, it's usually a lot and it makes a huge mess, and sometimes it's watery and it will stain ReptiCarpet, and that can be difficult to clean, and because it's difficult to clean, it can cause the carpet itself to start to stink. All in all, ReptiCarpet just isn't that convenient to use, in my opinion, for bearded dragons, because as soon as they use the restroom, you pretty much have to take out the entire piece unless you have multiple ReptiCarpets to replace it with immediately following. Take it out, clean it, wash it, let it dry, and then put it back in there again, and then hope that they don't go to the bathroom as soon as you put them back in there. Another drawback of the ReptiCarpet is that it doesn't really take in heat very well, so especially when talking about a bearded dragon who needs a little bit of belly heat to digest and needs just a warm surfaces in general, because their hot side is going to be around 105 degrees, and you really want the materials that you have on the warm side of the terrarium to take in some heat. You're not going to get that with ReptiCarpet. It's not a great absorber of heat, and your bearded dragon's not going to get a lot of supplementation of heat by just laying on the ReptiCarpet itself. So instead of using ReptiCarpet, I've decided to switch to tile. Unlike ReptiCarpet, which is difficult to clean and does not hold heat, tile right here is super easy to clean and is a great absorber of heat. And once you get to know your bearded dragon, you'll kind of figure out where he spends most of his time, and where he spends most of his time is going to be the place that he uses the restroom. So what I did is I placed, as you can see to my right, a tile where he uses the restroom the most. So as soon as he goes to the bathroom, I spot the poop, I take the entire tile out, go wash it individually, and while the other tile is being disinfected and washed off, I replace it with the third tile and just rotate them. I'll show you an example of this right now. So what I'm going to show you guys is two ways that I clean the tile and exactly how I use this tile system, just to show you how convenient it really is. So the tile we have right here is just loose particles. There's no poop on it, so in all actuality, there's really no reason for me to take the entire piece out and disinfect it, because it hasn't really been germy. It just has pieces of food on here. So I'm going to show you exactly what I would do and show you exactly how quick it takes. I simply grab the vacuum and vacuum it up. And it's a very expedient process, super easy to do. I just reach down in there with the vacuum, suck it up, and we're good to go. Clean cage. Although you can sort of do this with ReptiCarpet, what you'll see in just a moment is that when you try to vacuum the ReptiCarpet, the entire thing lifts up, which is pretty obvious. And there are ways to counteract that. You could just take the entire ReptiCarpet out and dump the loose food particles into the bottom of the terrarium. But once again, that's a little inconvenient because you're then having to remove everything out of the enclosure. So guys, right there is how I would do a quick little cleanup, like if I'm in a rush or I don't really think the cage needs a deep clean down. I'll simply just get the vacuum out and suck up the old food particles. Although it wasn't too difficult to get the food particles off the reptile carpet, as you saw, it did lift up a little bit. So if you didn't have something weighing it down, the entire carpet would come up, and that could cause some other issues. And a lot of times what I notice Ralph will do is when he crunches his food, especially his flaky food, the particles get kind of into the fabric strings themselves. And even with the vacuum, it's still difficult to get them off. But with the tile, there's no fabric for the food to get stuck into. So regardless of how small the food particles are, it's super easy for me to clean up. Alright guys, so this is kind of where it gets real. As you can see here, we've got several pieces of poop, and this is where tile really shows its advantage over ReptiCarpet. So I think it's fair to say that bearded dragons, kind of in comparison to your leopard geckos or your crested geckos, are more often going to have watery stool, meaning it's going to make a little bit more of a mess and spread out a little more. And when that happens on reptile carpet, it's an absolute pain, difficult to clean, and kind of hard to disinfect. But when your bearded dragon uses the restroom on carpet, all you have to do is remove the tile, disinfect it, and clean it off. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how easy it is and how I do it right now. And just like that, guys, your cage is pretty much entirely clean once again. So something else about the tile that I find really nice is oftentimes you're not going to be at the house when your bearded dragon uses the restroom. So by the time you notice that he's even gone, the heat from the tile is going to dry the pieces out, making it very easy to clean and reduces mess. As opposed to with ReptiCarpet, as soon as your bearded dragon goes, it's going to absorb into the carpet, start to smell, and be very difficult sometimes to detect and to clean. So once the pieces are dry, all you have to do is just knock them off into the trash can. And once you've done that, all you have to do now is disinfect the piece. The product that I use to disinfect my tile and pretty much all of my reptile surfaces is this Wipeout. I've been using it for years. Very dependable product. Although the spray bottle rarely works, it does leave your product smelling much better, and if it says, if it does exactly what it says, it's killing quite a few germs. So we're just going to let the Wipeout spray sit on there for a little while as the directions say, and if you're using ReptiCarpet, the liquids would be absorbing into the carpet themselves, and it's really not great for your animals to have prolonged exposure to this stuff, and if it absorbs into the carpet, it can be kind of difficult for it to get off. But with this, you simply spray it on, wipe it off. So I've let the Wipeout just kind of sit on there, and I've already wiped it off, and as you can see, we have an almost entirely clean tile. And for the sake of science, I'm going to show you exactly how warm these tiles get in comparison to reptile carpet, just to once again emphasize how much better tile is as a substrate for bearded dragons than ReptiCarpet. So I'm going to measure the temperature of the tile under the heat lamp for 10 minutes, as well as the temperature of the carpet under the heat lamp that will be there for 10 minutes, and we're going to see who's going to be the winner. Alright guys, so it has been 10 minutes, so let's go ahead and check the temperature. So it looks like we are at around 91 degrees, so that's only after about 10 minutes of heating. And since this tile is denser than the reptile carpet, it will take a little bit longer for it to heat up, but once it does heat up, it's going to get really warm, and it's also going to stay warmer for a longer period of time. Guys, so it has been 10 minutes, so let's go ahead and check the reptile carpet. It's going to be pretty warm, but the real test is how long it stays warm, because as you know, it's important that overnight bearded dragons have some belly heat and don't get too cool. So you're going to want your tile to stay nice and warm overnight. So as you can see right here, we're sitting at about 98 directly under the heat lamp. But as you're about to see, the reptile carpet's not going to stay as warm as long as the tile will. So after letting the tile cool down for about, I'd say 15 minutes, we're sitting at about 84 degrees. And it's important to note that I didn't let it heat up very long at all. I only let it heat up for about 10 minutes. So now we're going to check the reptile carpet after 15 minutes. Alright guys, so it has been 15 minutes later. So let's go ahead and check the carpet's temperature. So it has dropped drastically. I believe it was, 96 prior, so nearly 20 degrees in 15 minutes as opposed to the less than 10 degrees over on the tile, which really wasn't given enough time to truly heat up all the way. So this quick little experiment that I just did really shows that the tile is superior in regards to heating your bearded dragon than ReptiCarpet, as the tile simply is going to heat up and get really warm and stay warmer for a longer period of time, while the reptile carpet itself will heat up a little bit faster due to its lower density. It's going to cool down much quicker. Alright guys, so the two things I just showed you are the main reasons why I really like tile for bearded dragons. It's going to do a really great job at heating your bearded dragon. It's going to absorb heat really well, although it's going to take a little bit longer. Like I said, in comparison to the reptile carpet, it's going to stay warmer for a longer period of time and give your bearded dragon a great way to get down on the ground and lay its belly and help digest its food and get some belly heat. Along with the heating benefits, the tile is super easy to clean, which I demonstrated. It just makes sense to do that. It's going to save you tons of time, tons of effort, and a lot of stress for you. And it's going to end up making your bearded dragon's cage much cleaner because you're going to enjoy the cleaning process, as it's going to be so easy. Although there's really no impaction risk with either of these products, the reptile carpet or the tile, which is a great thing, it's just important to note that the tile, there's no chance of impaction whatsoever because there's no loose substrate on it at all unless you put it there. With the reptile carpet, I have heard tales, or probably true stories, of bearded dragons getting their claws stuck in the fabric. I mean, it's probably could happen. I'm sure it has, but I feel like those are rare incidents, and that's not happened to Ralph here. But that's something to keep in mind if you're hyper cautious and you think that might happen. Just go with the tile. That's what I should have done in the first place. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up this video. Just a quick video kind of explaining something that I've learned, and I want you guys to go ahead and get some first-hand knowledge from, so you don't have to go through the painstaking process of cleaning reptile carpet when you could just simply be using tile and having a much easier life for you and your bearded dragon. Make sure guys to go down low, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to drop a comment. I want to thank you guys already who have subscribed so much. You guys are great. We just surpassed 2,600 subscribers. Still trying to take that in. It's just growing at a rapid pace. I appreciate every single one of you. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and join the Country Geckos family. As always, this is Country Geckos. I'll see y'all in the next one.